Hello everyone, I'm Chang Yi. Taiwan is my home and your home, and also the place for us to embrace each other and strive together. Usually home is not the greatest place, but it's a place that makes people feel at ease. Let's see. A chef of a Japanese cuisine. When he came to Taiwan, he felt very strange about Taiwan. Why do all Japanese cuisine in Taiwan taste like Taiwanese style? Therefore, he opened a Japanese cuisine restaurant which made him feel at ease, and of course it is the real Japanese taste. Besides, in Japan originally he was a hairstylist. Therefore, he has a freestyle shop. Half is a hair salon and half is a restaurant to find his own position. Inside my heart, I think to insist the taste is the spirit of Japanese. Come in! With long hair, wearing earrings, the Japanese chef, Sekiguchi Masatoku, people call him Marsan, dressed clearly just like his cuisine. Usually what he wants to eat will appear on the menu. For example, today, the tempura, we seldom cook it with miso. However, I had oily bean curd, and I like the taste a lot. Therefore, I just try to copy the taste and make it with Japanese tempura. Marsan is from Yokosuka in Kanto. Although what he makes is Japanese cuisine like everyone, he insists the taste of his own region. Like this ishikari nabe, it must be made in authentic Hokkaido. He is from Hokkaido, and the original taste I made, well, I think it's not delicious enough. Therefore, I knew he is from Hokkaido. I asked him to teach me how to cook it. It's real, authentic Hokkaido way. Being authentic is Marsan's biggest insist. When he came to Taiwan, he just found out that the most of the Japanese cuisine are modified to Taiwanese style. To him, a Japanese, he really can't accustom to it. At that time, he felt like seeking his hometown taste, but he can't find it. Therefore, when he just came to Taiwan, most of the time he cooked by himself. To eat the authentic taste, you have to do it by yourself. Just his simple idea let him devote it into the world of cooking. Hello, Xiaoyu. Hi, good morning. What do you have today? Our items all are good today. The fish of today's are very nice. Oh, okay. Much better than a few days ago. Okay. Most of the time, Masan's very friendly, but he picks up the goods. He's very strict. Yes, if you don't like the goods, he'll be very straight. He will directly say he don't like it. He thinks he doesn't like the goods. Sometimes it's not good, not fresh enough. It's just a small tart, just a slightly part he doesn't like. He won't take it, and I couldn't help it. Could only accept it. Sashimi is particular about the freshness of the ingredients. As a chef, Masan has not only the absolute taste, but also the good vision to tell whether the fish is fresh or not. First, to see its belly, firm or not, to see whether it's hard enough, and second, see its grill. It should be bright red. If it's pink or almost white, probably the fish has got cold jury before, or it's not fresh. Yes. Then its eyes. Yes, the eyes should be bright, not to be dented. Don't you use frozen fish? No, I don't need. Just use the freshest fish. Yes, if it's not sold, I will eat by myself. Come on, this is the fresh sashimi of today, the Japanese amberjack and salmon, the part of belly. These are the favor from Marsan. Just their insist to the seafood and the goods of fish makes me very happy. Because like my children, they are not years old yet, I would let him eat the sashimi here, but I won't let him eat sashimi at other places. Do not serve it's not fresh. However, if they don't have this confidence at first, when they just start the restaurant, he also got a lot of heartless critics from customers. One of my customers told me that he was from the place he grew up is at Guiho, which is near Yeliu. Yes, and this customer told me that the fish we served were very bad. Then he looked at me and gave me a look and said, "You are a Japanese. It's very bad to serve the fish like this to customers. Very bad." These words are deeply imprinted in Hwara-san's heart. Therefore, he changed his strategies. He went to harbor directly to find the goods of fish, and this gave him unexpectedly benefits. This favorite fish of Japanese and Taiwanese are kind of different. Therefore, I saw some kinds of fish, and the fishermen know how to eat them. In other words, it is hard to use in the Chinese cuisine because they have many bones and their shapes are weird too. Yes, sometimes I will tell them that, "Give me all the weird-looking fish." Weird species of fish are the delicacies in Marsan's eyes, like the dishes of Japanese cuisine. Striped tuna sashimi in his hands become a mixing art of Japan and Italy, requiring the beauty of cooking, which is related a lot what he learned before. Originally, Marsan was a hairstylist. 20 years ago, because of the distribution of his job, he came to Taiwan giving technological guidance very often. Coming back and forth for several years, there's a familiarity in Taiwan. And feeling of my first time being in Taiwan, it feels like Osaka of Japan. The kind of passion is like the passion of Osaka. And the taste of the vendor food are similar to Osaka, which are the smell of food. That time, many of my Japanese friends asked me what Taiwan is like and how people in Taiwan, and I told them directly that there are Japanese who can speak Mandarin. Marsan said when he was young, he had the personality of wanderer. He left home and traveled around the world when he was 18, and he tasted a lot of delicacies food around the world. The purpose of the traveling is to experience how big the lands are, which is the lands don't just mean the mainland China, it means the whole continents. First to Russia by taking the train to Moscow. Yes, then from Moscow to North Europe, from North Europe then to Spain, with my eyes and my ears to see and experience every country in the world. Eventually, Marsan still chooses to settle down in his most familiar place, Taiwan. At first, I experienced Taiwanese style lifestyles. I went to the night market and see it is full of human warmth. Yes. Also, I happened to see that and feel Taiwan is making a progress. Taiwan is changing now. Seeing the future in Taiwan, Marsan used his good skills of hair cutting to open a store in Taipei. However, this store is quite special. In fact, when we are running this store, it is actually very hard for us. One side is hair salon, and the other side is restaurant. To himself, in addition to hair salon, he has to take care of the restaurant too. It's all about designing, yes, just with different materials and items. Yes, I used to deal with hair, now I deal with goods. So yes, they are the same thing. The other half of the hair salon is restaurant. Complex management makes my son realize that he loves to cook more than hair design. Actually, I asked him before that. After all, hair designing is his original profession. Since he was young, he has been doing for that for 20 years. So, I asked him whether it feels pity to give it up. He replied to me firmly that he won't, because he thinks that he wants to make delicious food and to promote himself in the aspect of cooking, because now he is very passionate about cooking. Putting down the scissors, taking the spatula, what he always insists is the taste of goods. Customers ask that all their dishes today in a lighter taste. Do they come here for the first time? They seems to be here the first time. Well, just tell the guest, taste the original flavor first. Yes, and after tasting the dish, if they still want the fish to be lighter, just tell me, I will adjust for them. For those who just came from the restaurant for the first time, Marsan would suggest them strongly to start from the original Japanese flavors. It's to insist on the authentic taste. Sometimes the customers would say, "Wow, your miso soup is very salty." As for miso soup, at the first time, we will try to communicate with them, but in vain, because they thought the miso soup would taste like that. That should be that kind of miso. It should be like that. It will not change. And she stands on the Taiwanese point of view, and I'm from the Japanese point of view. And of course, for the taste, I think I'm right. But however, since we do this business, sometimes we should be closer to Taiwan. Like this kind of moments, we don't fight. We just discuss, strong discussion. Because sometimes it's too over, I would ask the customers myself to find out the problem. If it's reasonable, I can make some slight adjustment, that's no problem. But if his request is too over, I will tell him directly that, "Excuse me, this is the flavor I would like to present." Yes, but however, this kind of customers are more or less with such tough customers. And I would just told them that just don't eat it. This is my previous personality. However, I just think I could take a lot of opinions. With these opinions, I should be able to find another way out. This is beef with sea urchin. Some people call it king sushi. What sushi? King sushi. Two good things. This is the amaebi from Guishan Island, sweet shrimps from deep sea, and this is the sea urchin I've tasted for you already. Marsan find another way to keep his own flavor, but according to customers' request, may make adjustments. Now his insist seems to have some local taste. Hi, happy birthday! Happy birthday! This is the feeling of home, just like going home or like visiting friends or a place with warmth without any restrictions. Comparing to Marsan's insist on dishes, his wife would have been helping him out more cares to make people feel at home. And the restaurant, maybe because of this warm strength, it holds Marsan's heart tightly. Wanderer, I really think that time I was like a wanderer, like a backpacker. Wherever he went, he probably really likes to experience different things. I think in the end, he likes Taiwan the most, so he really wants to settle down in Taiwan. If he didn't find Taiwan or never know Taiwan this place, I think he will just continue wandering. It is Taiwan who keeps Wanderer's heart. Ma-san finds his own position and wants to use his cuisine to warm up every customer's heart. Traveling to many places, in the end, he chooses Taiwan, a place where he could live at ease. Next, our character. How does he like about Taiwan? This is an interior designer. After he got married with a Taiwanese lady, he was going to settle down in southern Taiwan. However, living for a while, he found out that finding a job to the Texas, there are too many questions of the whole system, and he decided to give up and go back to Hong Kong. However, at this moment, there's one thing attracting him, let him decided to stay, which is an old house in Chai. This designer from Hong Kong modified this old house into a cafe and make this integrates to Taiwanese life. Hi, hello. Because my wife likes to drink coffee, so I will control the quality of coffee by myself. She will be happy if she drinks, and the customer could drink the coffee with fresher beans. 7 o'clock in the morning, the cafe hasn't opened yet. Boo is in the shop already, baking coffee beans. This part is easy to learn but hard to master. Have to experience many times and have to buy a lot of books taking experiment to assemble brewing coffee because he spent a long time learning to ensure quality. Boo is from Hong Kong. 5 years ago, when he came to Taiwan, he was just an interior designer. At that time, he never thought he will become a boss who talks about coffee every day. In 2009, Boo traveled in Taiwan with his friends, fell in love with Liu, who is from Chiayi. Since they have started the life of flying around, at first she would go to Hong Kong for me, and I would come to Taiwan for her. However, all of us think if we kept going like this, it wouldn't be future for us. If we have to choose a person to leave and to start all over again, I, as a man, would be easier than her. It would be easier. The main concern of my family is whether I could have a normal life in Taiwan. Whether I could find a job, this is the thing they would worry about. Reluctant to have a long-distance relationship, the next year, Boo really gave up everything in Hong Kong and officially moved to Taiwan. Originally, he planned to find a job with his talents of interior design. It would not be an issue. However, the problem just came one another. At beginning in Taiwan, I encountered some problems about my job, such as my transportation and taxes and the problem of my visa. All kinds of problems made me feel like giving up and considering whether should I go back to Hong Kong and save some money for a few years then come back to Taiwan to live together with my wife. Trying to settle down in Taiwan, but it didn't go smoothly. When Boo just decided to go back to Hong Kong, there was an old house suddenly came to his view. I passed by here with my wife by motorcycle. There was a note written with lease. Then I was just, we are looking for a house anyway. Maybe we could live here or have a business would be good. Well, we thought this house is quite good. Then just came inside and just with a glance it kept me here. The place attracted me most is the structure of this house. It is filled with feeling of Japanese colonial period. It should be built at that time. The nationalist government just came to Taiwan, and this kind of house is rare. So from a point of view to cherish it, we manage it with that attitude. Like this house with easels in the mezzanine and this kind of stairs are all made of terrazzo. It's quite rare. And also the roof of this house, the structure of the roof is the structure of Japanese colonial period. It's all made by wood. And this kind of technique is hard to find a master who would spend time to help you repair. While taking it down, oh dear, when he has repaired it, the smell of cypress just came to us because the smell of cypress is so good. It's just like the smell of the whole past is locked in the house. We were actually touched by the smell when we opened it. This building, which is over 50 years old, the appearance is insignificant. However, in Boo's, in this designer's eyes, it's like getting a precious treasure. In order to take the original appearance of old house, Boo used the repairing technique instead of the technique of innovation. At first, we would unroof the whole house first and do the prevention of termite and solve the problem of leak hunting and leaking one by one. Just like the problem of leaking, until now, we were still dealing with that. However, we were really enjoying what we do. Take the door frame, for example. We all wanted to keep that door, but the door frame has been bitten by termite. Then we spent a lot of time taking down the door, then making a new door frame to use the old way, making a new frame, and put the old door blackened or actually spend a lot of time to this part to communicate with the partner. If something is not usable, they will make one which is exactly the same. Boo spent more money, but he thought the heart of cherishing is the most important thing. He did insist on this part. He still thought that I tried very hard to keep the original appearance of this old house. If its most beautiful part, if it's still hidden, it'll be meaningless. So in the end, respecting his decision. Boo's insist of keeping the old house, and this old house also kept his steps. Just like this, it took 2 years to repairing the house. In 2012, the project of cafe was completed and officially opens for public business. And after everything on the track, they also got married. Do you have bags, sir? Okay, here. Today these two come together. Yes, thank you. Hi, sir. What is sweet bean called in Taiwanese? This is called di dao. Oh, di dao. Sweet beans. It's hard to pronounce. They are very nice. They will use Taiwanese-style Mandarin and try very hard to communicate with me. And sometimes I will mix 4 and 7. But it doesn't matter to them. They just laugh about it. Goodbye, sir. Thank you. Living in Chiayi, where people mainly talk in Taiwanese, Boo always takes the chance to learn a few sentences when he goes on the street. As for the skill of making coffee, he has to depend on himself. Originally, I had no idea how to cook coffee. There are many ways to make a good cup of coffee. However, the most suitable one for oneself, it takes time to delve and to research by myself. So far, I will have my own procedure to cope with my own brightness and the present mood to make today's coffee. This mellow coffee now has been the popular items in the store. The couples work in cooperation. Boo take care of the counter of the bar. As for the desserts and light meals are taken care by his wife, who was majoring cooking. Such as this black tea cake, it doesn't added any additive at all. Even the part of white egg, it is only added a little lemon juice to neutralize alkali in the egg white and making it foaming. Therefore, like the general cream tartar, they are more artificial. We don't add any of it. The desserts in the store are all designed delicately by his wife, Boo, who loves to eat sweets, with the attitude of making for family, also share with customers. Besides the healthy and delicious taste, it also have the feeling of warmth. Does it taste good? Yes. We actually didn't do any research on purpose to do the market survey in order to cater customers' flavor. It is just something we would eat, and with the idea of sharing to share with everyone. That's it. Like the stewed dishes is Boo's favorite dish of family dinner. It is also recognized by customers too. Every time we come, the must-order dish is this butter chicken stew, because I think its ingredients are very rich. Also, there are some gravy with this kind of baguette. It was baked a little bit. It's very crispy, and this gravy is very rich. The atmosphere of relaxing and ease is just like the name Boo gave the store, Come Home. They hope the customers coming to the shop are just like walking in the home without any restriction. Sometimes after work in the noon, I will come to have a cup of coffee. I feel at ease too. Some to space out, staring to the space, or thinking about other things, or simply having a cup of coffee is very comfortable. This taste is the experience of home in my wife's and my heart. Thinking of my customer coming to here, it makes them feel like visiting others' place. Boo enlightened this house, which have existed for half century, standing firmly at the same time. He proved himself. I think actually he would also try to prove himself eagerly to the friends and family in Hong Kong. He could live in Taiwan by himself, and although it's a different area, but he is able to share his different view in a different area. What is this? We don't have this in Hong Kong. This is stir-fried meat slices. Oh, my motivation, the first, of course, is my wife and my wife's family and the feeling from Taiwanese customers. That kind of human warmth let me feel that it is worthwhile to continue managing this store. I have been living in Chiayi for several years. I've already taken here as my home. Falling in love with the old house, also the life here. After we come back, we're going to see a story of a coach from South Africa in love of the crowdness here. Taiwan is my home. Home is the place letting people feel meets at most. The next character is from South Africa. His identities include the coach of touch, a teacher of African language, an English teacher, and an actor of English drama. Actually, his first year in Taiwan, he couldn't tell the difference of Taiwan and Thailand. They thought there's only sunshine and beach in Taiwan. However, after he came, living in the industrial area of Panchao made him feel a huge gap. He went back to South Africa disappointedly. Later, he found out himself missing the prosperity and noise of Taiwan. He came back to Taiwan again, and now he chooses a relaxing life in Taiwan. Thursday afternoon, James and the small touch team, which is led by him. Before the competition, they cheer up the team by shouting each other, "Team of Muscle Boys! Team of Tiger!" They practice 1.5 hours every week. These first grade and second grade students are trying to get through the goal and get the point with the balls in their hands. Touch is modified by the traditional football, just like the word. Any part of the person is folding the ball as long as it's touched by the competitors. The person drops the ball and pass to other places on the team to get the point. Rolling the ball, passing the ball. Oh, outside! There's no physical crashes or any actions of tackling in the game of the touch. Instead, it's like pacing and chasing around. It's relatively safer, suitable for women and children to join the game. Passing the ball, you drop the ball. Do you know Miniature Wonderland? The Miniature Wonderland is very crowded. Stand in line. 2 arms wide. Make the field bigger. At the court, James is staring at children's every movement. He is their coach. The touch sport of his hometown, South Africa, is like people's sport. When he was 21 years old, he suddenly had an idea of leaving home and to see and travel around the world. At the same time, he also wanted to promote touch to other countries. By graduating from college, he started to teach English and travel in this time. Who could tell me what a good passing ball is? Good. Samuel, please, perform to us. Pass the ball to Matthew. Good, well done. What is a good rolling ball? No, that's too far. Do not roll the ball to Banqiao. Just a little bit. Try again. Try again. Good, very good. 15 years ago, when James just came to Taiwan, he found in Taiwan there are a bunch of people playing Dutch. He tried to lower the age to let people play touch. He also hoped that through his teaching, he could let children of Taiwan have more chance of practicing speaking English. If I said passing ball, then please pass on the ball. Please pass the ball. You are just playing the game. Aren't you friends? You are friends. Good friends. You are good friends. Thank you. You are good friends, so do not get angry. If you get angry, I will give you a yellow card. Creating an environment for children to speak English, James also hoped through touch sports, which talks about the strategy and the idea of passing ball to let children understand that sport is not personal talent show. You are good at catching balls, but it's not the good at passing balls. Do not be a stingy person. Be generous. Okay? Be generous. No, don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. The goal of sport is not just training them to let them like the sport. In fact, you have to teach them this is teamwork. This is the spirit of competition. Also, you have to tell them do not get mad. Teaching them the power of fight. But it became a war. Giving up the idea of score alone, but creating a chance to let teammates score. This game is 3 against 3. Although there are not too many players on the team, the point is to get the idea of sportsmanship. At first, if you don't pass the ball, later if you pass the ball, because you found out what? You found passing ball would win only when you play in teamwork, and pass the ball and you could win the game. Will you get mad if you lose the game? No. Really, I just saw someone get angry. Next time I will bring gifts. Only those who make a good passing would get the gift, not scoring. It's passing balls. Very good. When we pass balls, do not do like this. This is not good. Do not like Jimmy Wong. It's not good either. It's not good. James not only teaches English by touch, he also joins a teaching group called the Game of English. By trying drama, it brings English to the rural areas in Taiwan. Yesterday in Reihuang, it was a bit difficult. Not many students understand English, not even recognizing ABC. Therefore, we have to make many big movements like squatting down, jumping, and even hurt my forehead. As long as we make them happy, I spoke many Taiwanese English. Let me see, not no Q. Something like this to make some connection. In order to be a big bad wolf. For quite a long time, James is quite sloppy like this all the time. Thinking about first, he would give the courage to cross Indian Ocean, coming to Taiwan from South Africa, all because of history in high school. In high school, we read the story about Taiwan, the war between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong. I knew about Taiwan and also knew that Taiwan became the kingdom of manufacturing computers and the manufacturing country. However, I forgot all. I thought I was going to Thailand. Taiwan, Thailand, both of them are typical ocean countries. I think I could teach English at the beach and drink some coconut juice under the tree, but after I came here, I lived in Banqiao. I was really shocked. Thinking Taiwan as Thailand and living in the industrial area by knowing nothing, James was really frightened, and the busy traffic in Taipei drew him back. After 1 year, he decided to go back to South Africa. My first year living in Taiwan is very hard, and it's strange that after going back to South Africa, I missed all the things about Taiwan, like traffic. How should I express prosperous? I came back. I was really excited about being able to come back. Comparing the quietness in South Africa, sitting with silence, made me. Thinking about Taiwan all the time, James stepped in this land again, and this time at his side there's a royalty partner. Bear, you see? Look. He likes to see the view very much. It is very interesting, isn't it? I kept a fat boy. It's very fat. Take a walk, take a walk, take a walk. Let's take a walk. Shall we take a walk, okay? Let's go. Being in Taiwan let James understand what is love. Also, Jody, 7 or 6 years ago, they met each other on a party. Both of them love outdoor sports. We're getting closer naturally. I'm an artist. I don't want to take something that's serious. Thanks for having her. We could be balanced. Sometimes she works too hard. I'll help her to relax. I'm faster. He is smaller. Their personalities cover each other and understand each other. One time he took the chance when he go back to West Africa. James proposed to her Beverly. I was proposing to her. She didn't say yes, but she cried. My friend told me that it meant yes. While you were planning the wedding, your parents are also able to accept this foreign son-in-law? Yes, it's no problem. Her father made me very nervous. You are my flower. I like Wu Bai. He is old-time style. James often laughs and says that his behavior is very Taiwanese. Regarding to foreigners living in Taiwan, he also have a further understanding. For foreigners, if you have any interest, you are able to find a group with common interests. Taiwan is an open society. You have to open your heart to look around. I spent many years to get accustomed to this environment, so I found it. The football I like. Now when I get back to South Africa, I feel like a foreigner here. There's even some people asking me that, are you from other country? But I'm actually a local people. Sometimes I just miss my mother. And also Africa. This is a way to always keep Africa living in my heart. Once in a while, when James was homesick, he would express his emotion by drawing. This picture is called African Mama. The painting of her mom of Africa, which symbolized the love of mother, it also relieves his homesick. But inside his heart, he's very clear that his future is in Taiwan. Jody and Bear, they are my family. I don't even have to think that. I would not ask how am I feeling today or why am I here. I don't need to consider about staying here in Taiwan because of my fiance and my pet dog. His plan is probably in Taitung. We could have a house and there's a field and there where we could have some wonder dog or some other thing. Then to have some pets, planting some veggies, and every morning he could see the sea. This is the life he likes. James is fancy for sea. He likes Taitung because in here there's familiarity, like his hometown in Africa. In the future, he's going to use English and touch in this beloved land to let more Taiwanese people understand his hometown culture. Next, this mom from Philippines. She found her confidence via telling stories as a volunteer in school. Early in the morning, the traffic in the front of school is busy. Tai walked in the crowd and walked in the school with children. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. You guys sound tired. Have you had breakfast yet? In the past 6 years, every Tuesdays, no matter it's rainy or windy, she always brings the English picture book and tool to Zhongyi Elementary School on time, telling stories for Jahan's second grade students. He could speak caterpillar in English. Really? Thanks. Look at him. Today I'm going to tell a story about him. He says I'm going to change. He says he's going to be different. Butterfly, or is it a butterfly or a frog? Butterfly. Tsai is the second generation of overseas Chinese in Philippines. Comparing now, she could walk everywhere freely. During the period she grew up, she experienced a violent Chinese exclusion in her hometown. It's not free even going outside. There's no place to do exercise in Manila and can't go out at the night. Especially for women, they can't go out. I've been protected since I was young. Wherever I go, my father always drove me to. Because of fear, Tsai's parents decided to send her leaving their hometown after she graduates from college, and she chose a safe place to stay, which is Taiwan. At first, they don't dare to go abroad because of my mom, but my mom said she'd like to accompany with me, and I said okay, we could come together. Also, my brother had already came to Taiwan first. My mom stayed with me in Taiwan for 1 month, and this is her first job in Taiwan. My mom accompanied me to work. After 1 month, I was getting used to it. My boss was very nice to me, and the co-worker is nice too. I felt that Taiwan is a safe country. Tsai is the only daughter in her family. Since she was young, she gets all the protections from family, including working in Taiwan. The caring from her mother never changed. My first month, I worked in the factory. I worked together with my mom. My mom wouldn't let me move the items. She said, let me do it and you just stand aside, because she was reluctant to let me move any heavy items. There's also the place Tsai met her husband, who is an overseas Chinese in the Philippines. They got married. However, the life in Taiwan seems to be happy and perfect until the accident when she was 77 years old. The work was busy and under high pressure, so after I was pregnant for 36 weeks, my son was gone. She only lived for 1.5 hours. Did this thing strike your heart? Yes, it did. Because for 1 month, for 1 whole month, I just kept crying and crying. At that time, my mom came to see me and take care of me. I was just keeps crying every day. It took me a year to wipe my tear. Losing her first child, giving Tsai a huge blow and let her start to isolate herself. At that time, I was really worried, so when I expected my second son, I just decided not to work, just take good care of my family, and yet take care of my son, because I think you can earn the money, but you can't earn a child. At that time, after taking care of my son for 2 years, at that time I was pregnant for 2 months, and I went back to Philippines to let my parents and my sister-in-law take care of me, take good care of me, because I was thinking that if I have a daughter, I don't want to have other kids. Although she has a pair of children successfully, Tsai still insists that working is not absolute. Children is her only concern. Out of the attitude of protection, she often shows up in her children's campus. And my daughter's teacher saw me keep coming to school. She said, you seem to have a lot of free time. Would you like to tell story in our class? Well, telling stories in English. At that time, I have no confidence. I was thinking if I could do it, but the teacher just keep encouraging me. At that time, my daughter was 2nd grade. She thought maybe when I'm in the school, I could teach some English to the students. My daughter could learn at the same time. And it's best that I could see my daughter. The caterpillar says, what am I going to become? Butterfly. How about you? I don't know. It was very proud and said, I don't know. I think I will change into a butterfly too. What did tadpole say? I think I will change into a butterfly too. English is his strong language. Telling stories is not a problem, but for her isolated for a long time to step this out is just like a caterpillar changing into a butterfly. Before breaking through the cocoon, there's still a struggle. In fact, my daughter just told me that. Just take it easy. I told her I was a little bit nervous. She said, Mommy, don't be nervous. Just imagine you are telling story to me. At the beginning, because I had to tell the story on the stage and I thought there is a lot of students, more than 30 students, I was just worried that my voice is not loud enough. But teacher helped me a lot. He lended me the microphone. So this just only telling stories needs to prepare some gifts. Because without gifts, children seems to lose their interests. They are staring at the tadpole and staring at the caterpillar. Wow, this is not easy. Telling stories out loud at the same time, Tsai opened her heart. Before this, she had no friends. I used to stay at home watching TV. Later, I thought it was time for me to go out to meet some new people. So at that time, I went to Zhongyi Elementary School as a volunteer. This is my biggest change to become a volunteer at the first time. Because after I went to Zhongyi Elementary School, I met a lot of friends. Tsai have a great interest in telling story and also enlarged her social circle. And even when both of her children graduated from elementary school, she still stays to bring the love for children. What's this? National flag, national flag, national flag of each country, the national flag of Philippines. And there's 3 big islands in Philippines, 3 big islands. And then how many stars did you see? 3. 3, good. Who can speak stars in English? I'm going to ask a boy. What? Star. Star. The introduction is mixed with Mandarin and English. Tsai shows the confidence which just belonged to her. Now she could even prepare the vocabulary cards and tools to let the children of Taiwan know more about her hometown. Today, I learned of the national flag of Philippines and the clothing of Philippines. I'm very happy. And I like to hear her story, the story from Mom. I also learned some English. What else? And also many animals. Do you expect it every week? Yes. Because of Tsai's such a passionate mom devoting herself into education, it is good for promoting the multicultural school. We think that in the class, if there are kids in the New Habitators family, it is good for let children to get along with these children perfectly. And through the devotions of moms, we could take part of integration even better. Mother and daughter hold each other's hands. This scene could also be seen every 4 o'clock in the evening when Tsai would take her daughter home.
The calendar with 365 days was invented in Egypt. This is the story of 4 important inventions. First is fireworks.
Her daughter is her power to start telling stories, and she's the best English teacher of her daughter. Do you feel stressed if you don't learn your English well? Yes. How so? Because there's a person in our class that he doesn't know English and he just recites without any methods and he doesn't good well on the English test. And every time I did good in my test, I'm thankful for my mom teach me. All the things I have, I could give up, but I will not give up my family. They are first priority. I think they are the most important to me, especially my children. Yes, so I will tell my children that you are my property. I have nothing but you, and I think my life is very rich. These 2 children enrich her life. Comparing to now, her classmates who are still staying in the hometown, Tsai said she's very grateful that 22 years ago she chose Taiwan. I'm very thankful for coming to Taiwan. How so? Once in a while, I will chat with my college classmates. She said, when you went to Taiwan, why didn't you invite me to come with me? She is really regretful. She said she should have been in Taiwan to go abroad to other countries. She said that because she sees me in freedom, I feel free. I could do everything. Coming to the foreign land alone, to have her family and business here, Tsai uses stories to complete her children's and her life. The little girl who is used to being taken care of by her parents carefully now in the land of Taiwan, she learned to be independent, and also because of the devotion to her children, on Tsai's face is full of confidence and fulfillment. Taiwan is my home, and we also hope it's a place that make you feel at ease. See you next week.